how I would make the DC Cinematic Universe Phase 9 Part 1. Alright, to kick off Phase 9, we're going to have a Robins Unite movie. This will be all 4 Robins. The villains here are going to be the League of Assassins, this time led by 2 hired assassins, KG Beast and Lady Vic. Their goal is to convince Damien to join them and lead them, but obviously he doesn't want to go, and he recruits all of his adopted brothers to come and help not get taken. Then we will get a Green Lantern Corps movie. This one, the main villain here is going to be Relic, and it's going to play out similar to how it does in the comics, where at the end, Kyle Rayner, who is the White Lantern, goes into the Source Wall and dies, except at the end of the movie we see that he actually didn't die. The point of him going into the Source Wall was to sacrifice himself to save the day. But once everyone is left, except for the Guardians, Kyle comes back out of the wall at the very end of the movie. So that will set up for, future White Lantern movies. Except now he's even more powerful because he's become one with the Source Wall. Oh, and he also, the Guardians don't let him tell anyone other than Carol that he is still alive. So, in the next White Lantern movie, no one knows he's alive except for the Guardians and Carol. Then we will get a Red Hood Prince of Gotham movie. It'll play out similar to the comic again here. The main villain, I guess, kind of being the Penguin here. Super cool comic book. You should read it. And Red Hood gets a new suit in this one. Although I'll probably get him, he'll probably look different in every movie he's in, because I have a feeling his suit would just be really fun to mess with. So it'll change up pretty much every movie. Then we will get a Barry Allen Flash movie with Bart Allen, Impulse. The main villain here is going to be Savitar, who we haven't seen this entire time yet, so that'll be really cool. Then we'll get a movie seeing what Artemis and Bizarro have been doing off-world on a different Earth. They've been there for a few years now, and basically they're just, in this world, all superheroes have been wiped out, so they're dealing with that. Basically a doomsday scenario, end of world scenario, and they've been the 2 biggest heroes on this world to try to save it. Then we'll get a Titans 3 movie, or Tim Drake Titans 3 movie anyway, and I'm thinking the villain here be Trigon, but that's in pencil at the moment. What do y'all think? How I would make the DC Cinematic Universe Phase 9 Part 2. Alright, so we're going to get an Earth 9 movie, or Earth something movie. The number's not really that important. But it's going to be a Black Lantern Batman versus a White Lantern Superman. This was a great idea. Thank you. Then we'll get an Injustice 2 movie. We'll get an Icon 2 movie. We'll get a White Lantern movie. This will show Kyle going on some special missions for and with the Guardians and Carol. Then we'll get a Teen Titans movie. This will be the first incarnation of Damian Wayne's Teen Titans, and it'll be with a select group from the Young Justice cast. And remember, we've had a live-action Young Justice show going on really since the Young Justice movie. So we're probably in season 5 by now. So a very established show. And we'll basically get a lot of those characters coming up onto the big screen. Some of them may have not even come to the big screen at all yet, for a Teen Titans team up against Warp. Then we'll get a Batwing movie. This will be kind of an origin story for Batwing. It'll basically be Bruce Wayne training him and sending him off on a mission. The villain here is going to be Firefly. Then we're going to get a very massive movie, Lanterns versus Gods, or something like that. Basically, Highfather of the New Gods wage war against all the Lantern Corps and steals all of their rings. This is because he heard about Kyle Rayner, a Lantern, being able to pass through the Source Wall and survive. and it's a power that he wants to understand and be able to use. So he goes all psycho trying to get it. He eventually takes Kyle's ring, traps Guy and Simon. Things go crazy, but he eventually, a lot of people die, but he eventually comes to his senses and allows Kyle and the other lanterns to get their rings back and to save the day. Then, following that, we're going to get a White Lantern movie. This will be against Oblivion, and it will actually form the first White Lantern Corps. And just kind of a rough draft face here, the Corps would exist. I'm thinking about adding Carol to it, the Star Sapphire, St. Walker, the Blue Lantern, a random Red Lantern that I'll make up probably, a random Green Lantern that I'll probably make up from an alien planet, and Swamp Thing. Then we will get a Red Robin solo movie against General. Then we're going to get a Wally West Travels to Apocalypse movie. Wally's OP now, kind of 1v1's Darkseid. It'll be a very intense movie. How I would make the DC Cinematic Universe Phase 9 Part 3. Alright, so after we see Wally and Darkseid duke it out, we're going to get to see a Earth 10 movie. Or just, another Earth. Again, the Earth numbers aren't important here. But in this world, it's similar to our own world, but lots of things have happened to make it different. The three biggest things are Krypton never existed, so there are no Kryptonians on Earth. There are no Green Lanterns or any Lantern Corps. And the Speed Force doesn't exist, meaning that there are no speedsters in your traditional DC sense. And you have this really wacky, fun Justice League. Now, I could add more members to this as I really try to flesh out this world that I'm 100% creating. But, for now, the Justice League consists of Lex Luthor being Superman, the Atom, Red Tornado, King Shark, and Tim Drake as Batman. And our actor Tim Drake in our main series, in our main Earth, can definitely play this Tim Drake. It'll be perfectly fine. If you guys think of anyone else just off the wall that could be part of this Justice League, let me know. Again, I'll probably flesh out this team a little bit more. I don't know who their villains would be yet. I have to figure all that stuff out, but I think this premise is pretty cool. Alright, so then we're going to get a Mr. Miracle solo movie. Now, we will have seen him before in the New Gods movie. He may have had a brief appearance in the Lanterns vs. Gods movie, although wouldn't have been a big player in that. But he gets to flesh out his character here, so. Then we will get a Grim Knight prequel origins story. The Grim Knight is one of those dark multiverse versions of Batman. He's basically like the Punisher meets Batman, except he's even darker. And obviously he's dead or gone where we are currently at through this. That's why it's a prequel movie. It just taps into his origin a little bit because he's a really cool character. Then we will get a Detective Chimp movie. Then we're going to get the Legions of Superhero movie. These are heroes, basically a Justice League Unlimited version of like year 3000 superheroes. This will spawn a series similar to, I guess, the Young Justice series, where it's going to stretch multiple seasons. So this first movie will show them as all teenagers, and then we'll watch them grow through the show until the next phase when we get to see them a little bit more grown up and mature. Then we'll get a Red Hood Death Avenged movie or something like that, where he kills the Joker. How I would make the DC Cinematic Universe Phase 9 Part 4. Alright, so there's been a pattern. This is the third and final time where the ending of a phase, which is obviously always a Justice League movie, is tapping into the dark multiverse. The end of Phase 7 was Batman Who Laughs and the Dark Knights. The end of Phase 8 was Gaia, the dark multiverse version of Terra. And this one is a dark multiverse version of Sinestro. Specifically, a Sinestro who literally has all of the Lantern's powers. The Black Lantern and the White Lantern. Which the White Lantern is all the other Lantern cores except for the Black. So he's got it all. And he's Very powerful and very evil. Now this is actually going to be kind of a weird feeling for us audience. Us audience. The audience. Who are we? I don't know. But the last 10 years or so that we've been watching these movies, Sinestro has been more of an anti-hero, not so much a supervillain, because we've kind of gotten used to all of the Lantern Corps kind of teaming up and more or less getting along for the majority of it. We've even seen Hal and Sinestro team up to take down some bigger threats. So this is a version of Sinestro that you kind of wouldn't see coming. But basically, this, I'm calling it Ultimate Lantern Sinestro. He comes to our Earth and immediately destroys Oa. Destroys the Guardians of the Universe. He corrupts the Indigo tribe and the Sinestro Lantern Corps, the Yellow Lantern Corps of our Earths, or of our Earth. Destroys and kills 99% of the Red Lanterns. Kills our Sinestro in the process of corrupting our Sinestro Corps. And then with his army, he invades Earth, our Earth. So our Justice League, who at this point is Nightwing, Cyborg, both of the Flashes, because Barry Allen's back, Red Tornado, Mr. Terrific, the new Wonder Woman, Cassie, Starfire, and then the Green Lantern Corps, the Blue Lantern Corps, the Star Sapphires, and the Orange Lantern Corps, which is just Larfleeze, all team up to take down this Ultimate Lantern Sinestro. It's going to be an all-out brawl, but unlike most of the previous Justice League movies, there's not a lot of deaths. In fact, the only casualty in this big fight of our good guys is Larfleeze, which will set up for us in Phase 10 to get a Orange Lantern movie where we find a new Orange Lantern, which would be cool. But yeah, so what do you think? I think Ultimate Lantern Sinestro is really cool.